Hello, this is Chloe Palingi, and I will be doing a presentation on the best-selling cards in the Pokemon set Mega Evolution. This is the second part, and the reason why there's a part 2 on here is because I analyzed the best-selling cards of this set a couple months ago, and I just wanted to analyze it again and see if we have different bestsellers and how they possibly changed or why. Yeah. So I'm going to be talking about how I choose my top 10, mostly because how I choose my top 10 this time is different than how I chose it before, and I'll go over that. Before this one, when choosing my top 10, I paid most of my attention to sales volume, market price, and market rate changes. And this is because in my eyes, best-selling cards are those that are selling a lot at a relatively high price considering the card's history and the type of card it is. So in order to do this, I looked at the top 15 popular on price charting and top 15 best-selling on TCG Player related to the set, in this case Mega Evolution. And then I took all those cards from the ones collected and I ranked them all based on price point, price change, and sales volume individually. From there, I calculated the final ranking using a point system based on their placements in each individual category to get my top 10. The difference between this and Mega Evolution is while I think I still applied the point system, I applied the point system for the price point and price change, but based on those, I then ranked the top 13 from the top 13 based off the points based on the sales volume. So sales volume didn't play as much of a part in my final ranking as price point and price change did, and in this top 10, I weigh sales volume like a lot more. Like my equation for the points is the amount of points based on placement of price point multiplied by 1 plus the amount of points assigned based on price change multiplied by 2, and then sales volumes weighted by like 4. And so sales volume just has a lot more impact on the ranking than it used to. And yeah, from here we can get into it. Each slide will contain an explanation of why it is within the top 10. I'll also say something if it has something to do with our previous top 10, and then I will also have a few honorary mentions at the end, which are cards that just catch my eye in this case in terms of the top 10. Yeah. Number 1 card is Lily's Determination 169. I believe this card was included within the previous top 10. Specifically, this card was ranked at number 7 before, and now it is ranked number 1. We can kind of briefly compare the graphs and seeing how the price change has fluctuated over time. But in terms of why this card is up there, this is an ultra rare card. An ultra rare is a relatively high rarity tier, and so that attracts collectors. This is also a full art trainer card, which means it has the full art trainer effect. This just refers to this thing where for some reason full art trainer cards always do well. Fans and collectors just seem to really like human Pokemon cards for some reason. And then this is also Lily. So Lily is one of the most popular modern trainers in the franchise due to her relevance to the narrative of Sun and Moon, both within the video game and within the anime. She just has a presence, and her personality is also very likable. So she is a very well-liked trainer, and that's why her trainer card is all the way up here. Next we'll move to number 2, which is Bulbasaur 133, which I want to say technically is not included within our past top 10, and we'll get into that later. But this is Bulbasaur 133. As to why it's up here, this is an illustration rare card and a full art. This makes it immediately attractive to collectors. Collectors really like full art cards. They are basically marketed for collectors. And yeah. In terms of the Pokemon itself, Bulbasaur is a Gen 1 starter Pokemon, so that makes it one of the more popular Pokemon due to its nostalgia appeal and relevance within the video games and the anime. Gen 1 Pokemon and starter Pokemon tend to be the most popular Pokemon within the franchise, and so being a combination of both, Bulbasaur is just very popular. And then in terms of the artwork, we have a very unique background and composition, which catches the attention of fans and collectors, and that makes this card very appealing. And in addition, this card's art also matches the art of other cards related to the Bulbasaur evolution line, which ups its collectability and makes it more appealing because collectors will want to buy all of the cards that look similar to each other. And yeah, here comes number 3, which is the version that technically is within our previous top 10, and that is Bulbasaur 133 again, but with a stamp this time. And so this carries all of the appeal factors of Bulbasaur 133 that we just talked about, but because it is stamped, it is technically an alternate version of the card, which makes it more appealing. I think it's also technically more rare, and so that makes it more appealing to collectors. As to why it's down here, it just has an overall lower sales volume than Bulbasaur 133, and so it was placed lower. But it was placed within our top 10. It was specifically number 10 a couple months ago, when sales volume didn't play as much of a part. But it definitely raised in ranking since then. You can kind of also see the differences in the price change fluctuations, as it was like only falling before, and it's had a little bit more rises and dips since then. Yeah. Now we can move on to number 4. This is Mega Lucario EX 160. I believe it was within our top 10 last time. Yes, it was number 5. And now in this case it is number 4. Pretty similar placing. And as to why it is up here, this is another ultra rare card similar to our Lily card, and so it attracts collectors. Lucario as a Pokemon is a popular, well-liked Pokemon due to its presence within anime and the video game, as well as its strength as a fighting Pokemon. Lucario is also the mascot Pokemon of this set, and so most of the cards, and so all chase cards are basically Mega Lucario cards. All Mega Lucario cards are chase cards, but not all chase cards are Mega Lucario cards, squares and rectangles, right? But this makes this basically a chase card of the set. In terms also of the artwork, we have a unique background and a colorful art style, and so that shows off the Mega version of Lucario really well. I also have another displayable card. Oh, did I talk about that before? I don't think so. This is a center position Pokemon card, and so that makes the card very displayable, and so that appeals to collectors and fans. Yeah. Now we're at number 5. This is Mega Kangaskhan EX 182. I believe this was actually also after Lucario in our previous top 10 at number 6. Now it is at number 5. This card is a special illustration rare, or an SIR as stated here, and these are highly sought after by collectors. This is because they are rarer than illustration rares and tend to be of higher quality. In terms of Pokemon popularity, Kangaskhan's Mega version, although it was originally regarded as lazy because you're kind of just taking the baby out of the pocket, is popular due to its presence in competitive history, as well as the concept behind the Mega Evolution. And then also the artwork of this card is just very appealing. It's a cute concept that appeals to fans of the Pokemon and showcases the appeal of Kangaskhan's Mega form, which is the taking out of the baby from the stomach. Yeah. Moving on to number 7, this is Ivysaur 134, which I think was also included within our top 10 before. It was our number 9. As to why it's up here, this card is an illustration rare card and a full art, which makes it immediately attractive to collectors. This is also Ivysaur, which is part of Bulbasaur's evolution line, which makes it one of the more popular Pokemon due to nostalgia appeal and relevance within the video games and anime. It's a starter evolution, basically. And then this artwork, as you'll notice, is very similar to our Bulbasaur artwork from before, and so it carries that collectability of the Bulbasaur artwork as well as all of the other benefits of the artwork of the Bulbasaur cards. If we can see them together, I'm gonna see if we can put them next to each other. You can see the similarity, yeah, right there. But because of how similar they are, they have the same artwork, they kind of connect to each other. Both cards become more popular. Yeah. Moving on to number 7, Lily's Determination 184, which also appeared in the top 10 a couple months ago at rank 4, which was higher than before. But because we're waiting sales volume a little bit more now, it's dropped since then. But yeah. This card, we have another special illustration rare similar to our Mega Kangaskhan, I believe, yeah. And so this is highly sought after by collectors. It's also another full art trainer card, similar like our Lily card, and so it has that full art trainer effect. This is also another Lily card, so it has that effect of Lily being one of the most popular modern trainers in the franchise. The difference is mainly in the artwork and the rarity, because this is a rare card, it's more expensive. Which, while it also makes it more sought after, it makes it harder to get because of its price point, and so it has a more limited audience. But this artwork is nicer, it's more detailed, it's glowy, and has a fitting color palette and background to the nature of Lily, and so this card is very appealing to fans and collectors. Next is our number 8. This is Mega Gardevoir EX 178, and it was in the exact same position a couple months ago in its rankings, which is really fun. But this card is a special illustration rare, or an SIR, like we had just seen, so it is highly sought after. Gardevoir as a Pokemon is very popular within the fan base, and this is due to its design, aesthetic, and strength within the video game. Its Mega form is also widely praised and well liked within the fandom. And then this card is mainly known for its art style. It's a very unique art style, and it's in a very appealing color palette that makes this card a fan favorite and makes it well liked by collectors. Moving on to number 9, this is Marshadow 146. I actually don't believe this card showed up within the top 10 or the honorary mentions a couple months ago, so this is a new one. This card is an illustration rare card and a full art, so it is appealing to collectors. Marshadow specifically is a mythical Pokemon, and so that makes it immediately popular among the fandom due to its narrative and lore relevance. And its dark and edgy design also appeals to fans, similar to a Pokemon we haven't talked about yet, so we'll go into that. But its dark and edgy design appeals to fans, essentially. And then in terms of artwork, this is a simple but appealing art style, which makes this liked by fans and collectors. And we also have a little hint of, I know I said Pikachu, it could be Pichu, it's a little bit hard to tell with this art style, but that hint of just either Pikachu or Pichu also increases the card's popularity due to the popularity of Pikachu or Pichu or Pichu, yeah. Now we're at our final top 10, our number 10. This is Mega Absol EX 180, which also showed up in our previous top 10 at number 3 before, so we've had a drop, but it is still within the top 10, which is pretty good. This card we have another special illustration rare, and so it's highly sought after by collectors. This is also Absol, and Absol is a very popular Pokemon due to its dark and edgy design. Its Mega form especially capitalizes on this and makes this Mega form a fan favorite. It's just very well liked. And this art style, the composition and color palette capitalize on what already makes the Pokemon so popular, and so that makes it very appealing to fans and collectors. And now we can move on to honorary mentions. So, our honorary mentions this time are Mega Lucario EX 188 and 179. This Lucario was in it, right? I might have accidentally chosen the wrong one. Oh, okay, I misspoke before. This Mega Lucario was not in our top 10, it was in our honorary mentions before. But these two that we are not talking about were in our top 10. Why they aren't in our top 10 now is because their sales volume are relatively low. But they are honorary mentions because these are also chase cards of the set. It's just because of their relatively lower sales volume, they just couldn't break into the top 10 like they did before when sales volume wasn't as considered. Before they were number 5 and an honorary mention. No, before they were number 5 and number 1 because I didn't consider sales volume as much, but now that I do, these are just relatively lower than the others. And yeah, that is it from my reanalysis of the top 10 of best-selling cards of the Pokemon set Mega Evolution.